hear this. Now hear this. The captain will address the personnel of the ship.
Men, ever since Pearl Harbor, our country has been asking, where is our Navy? Why don't they fight?
Because of the unorthodox maneuvers of this carrier, I know you've been asking the same question. And I must confess, so have I.
We've suffered many casualties, dead and wounded. We've been humiliated. We've had to avoid combat and run away from the enemy, when all the time we've been aching to go aloft and knock them clean out of the sky. We asked ourselves why we were not permitted to fight. Why we could not avenge our dead nor strike back in our own defense. Well, 5 minutes ago, I received a message which answers all our questions. After Pearl Harbor, our country was faced with the greatest disaster in its history. The situation was desperate, and only a desperate and brilliant strategy could save us.
Our Navy pinned its hope on one thing: the Japanese inability to deviate from a plan once it had been made. We knew their next move would be an attempt to capture Pearl Harbor, but first they'd have to take Midway. Our strategy was to deceive the Japs into thinking we were scattered all over the ocean, that Midway would be a pushover. In the meanwhile, we would secretly concentrate our entire remaining naval strength at Midway. That was our trap. You men, this carrier and her escort, were the bait to that trap. It was a nasty job, a dirty job, and it has cost us heavily in men and equipment.
The Japs thought they saw 4 of our carriers at widely separated places. They only saw 1. That was us. 3 times Tokyo reported us sunk. Twice we nearly were. But we're still afloat.
And I'm happy to tell you the strategy has worked. The trap has been sprung. Leaving us scattered all over the ocean, the main Jap fleet is headed for Midway. They're going in for the kill. And so are we.
We're through running away. We're through pulling punches. Our mission is accomplished. And from here on in, we fight.
Is headed for Midway in 3 main columns. One is here with the carrier Soryu, one is here with the carrier Kaga, and one is here with the carrier Hiryu. Now, their rear is protected by a formation headed by the cruisers Mikuma and Mogami. Our heavy ships are hopelessly outnumbered. The Jap fleet must never be allowed to get within range of them. The Battle of Midway must be won in the air. By the planes from this carrier, the 2 that will join us, and the fortresses on Midway. When the Japs find out what they've run into, they're going to come after you with everything they've got. But this is the battle we've been praying for. We've got it on our own grounds, on our own terms. Good luck. Stand by to start engines. Stand clear propellers. Start engines.
sir.
O'Neill, got your recognition code straight?
Yes, sir. I've got one for this morning and one for this afternoon, too.
We'll celebrate tonight with a nice fresh vegetable salad. The first from my seagoing farm. Sir, last enemy position, bearing 215 true, 150 miles.
There's our target. Hold the squadron. Remember, when you think you're in close, go in closer before you drop that fish.